Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics less non-classics. This is episode number 1627 and Doubleshot number 1500, actually no, 33, excuse me, 1633 and Doubleshot number 1527. Sorry about that. Alright, I have two DC trades. First up, this series came out in 2010. Now, I had just started reading DC when this series was coming out. Yeah, I had just started, and this series just started. This was a twice monthly series released from 2010 to 2011, and this simply put came in the aftermath of Blackest Night. This is the first trade that collect issues from the Brightest Day limited series. This collect issues 0 through 7. Now, the thing with this book, it's been an anthology book mostly. It just sets up a lot of stuff that's explored in a lot of books. Now, the main character of this book is Deadman. Yep, Deadman is the start of this book. Now, you might be curious, so who wrote this thing? Peter J. Tomasi and Jeff Johns wrote this. Yep, they're the ones who wrote this. And you might find this interesting, though, about this. The cover art is mostly done by, David Finch, Scott Williams, and Peter Segurtuard, I think it's pronounced, yes. Yeah, that's David Finch's artwork. Now, the artwork, the interior is done by Ivan Reyes, Patrick Gleason, Fernand Passarin, Adrian Sarf, Scott Clark, and Joe Perito. This book does introduce one new character. I want to be verified about this one, just to be sure. Yeah, this is definitely the book that introduced him. Yes, Jackson Hyde, the second Aqualad. Yep. He made his debut in this book in issue number 4. Now, surprisingly for an event like this, Batman does not really star in this book at all. Not really, no. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, these are your characters you focus on for this main book. You have Aquaman, Hawkman, Hawkgirl. Now, Captain Boomerang is here, along with the Flash. The whole point of them being here is basically to plant seeds for, which sets up basically what we explored in the third volume for Flash by Jeff Johns. Hawkman, and of course, there's also Martian Manhunter here too, along with Miss Martian. My only guess is the reason I included her in here because she's going to feature in the Young Justice TV show. And here's a little fun fact for you. Pretty much no less than about 2 months after Aqualad's debut here in issue 4, he shows up in Young Justice. Yep, fresh new character. Just showed up and he's already on TV. Yep. And despite the fact that, and we also see the return of Hawk and Dove. Now, here's the thing. Now, Hal Jordan is here, but he's not the star. Because he's off doing his own thing for Brightest Day in his own book. In the case of Deadman, he's the star of this book. He has been resurrected thanks to the White Lantern ring. So, we also see the return of Hawk and Dove, who get brought back in this book. Now, of course, now in the case of Hawk and Dove themselves, now Dove, she has never met, she's heard of Deadman, but never seen him in person before. And the way he was described as a pasty white guy, as a guy who's pasty white, looks like a walking corpse. That's because of the costume. He couldn't take off the mask. And because he got the mask, now here's the thing. The other reason why he took off his mask, finally, was because he's alive. When he was dead, he couldn't take off his costume. Not at all. Not really sure why. That's just basically how it is. So, he goes and finds Hawk and Dove, and of course, Hawk really wants to see him resurrect his dead brother, Dawn, because it was brought up in the main Blackest Night limited series that a Black Lantern going to bring back Dawn because he died peacefully. So, Hawk really wanted to see the return of his dead brother. And so, Deadman, Boston Brand tries. It doesn't work. So, Dawn, who, by the way, this particular Dove is not the original Dove that Steve Ditko created. This is the second one that Rob Liefeld created. Yep, the female Dove, Dawn Granger, who really wants to see the return of her dead sister, who in Blackest Night was killed by Hawk. when he was a Black Lantern. Boston tries. Doesn't work much at all. As in the case of Hawkman and Hawkgirl, well, here's the thing about Hawkgirl. It's revealed a little bit later on that, despite the fact, yes, this is Kendra Saunders' body, but Shira Hall is basically the one in the driver's seat. Yeah, Kendra Saunders is gone. Yeah, her soul is like gone, and let's just say her great aunt is back. That's pretty much what mainly happens with that. And in the case of Aquaman, who is actually here, he actually gets himself explored where he does not go to Atlantis. He even summons like a giant squid, a shark monster. Really cool. A lot of stuff is really cool stuff here. So Deadman, despite the fact being supposedly invisible at first, the White Lantern ring decides to turn his visibility off in front of... Oh yeah, by the way, we also have a storyline focused on Firestorm. Yep, Firestorm. Now, the thing with this is that basically Boston Brand basically told to help them. So we got a lot of stuff for various different books. The Hawk and Dove stuff, that's actually explored in the pages of Birds of Prey. Now, we also see that there was this big humongous crater in the middle of Star City that was turned into a forest. Boston Brand did that with the White Lantern ring. So that is there to set up what's going on in the pages of Green Arrow. Yep. And of course the whole thing with this right here, Deathstorm, that's explored here. Hawkman, Hawkgirl, that's explored in this book. In the case of Osiris, who is the brother-in-law of Black Adam, yeah, his plot thread is explored in the pages of Titans. And we also see that there's a White Lantern battery on Earth. Sinestro One gets their hands on it, along with a few others like Hal Jordan and Carol Ferris. Yep, they want to get their hands on the thing. So Boston Brand decides, despite that he kind of knows Aquaman, of course he can't. So basically, we have quite possibly by far the most shocking thing to happen here. So we have it where Deadman goes to face with like Cousin the Fly, and he runs into the freaking Anti-Monitor. Yes, the Anti-Monitor. And I love this design of Anti-Monitor. I do not like his redesign from the New 52. I am not a fan of the design. I like this design, but this is awesome. This is the George Perez design. I love this one. Yeah. Freaking Anti-Monitor. Yes, of all things, the freaking Anti-Monitor. So, just taking a freaking Anti-Monitor. Now, what does his purpose do? Not much per se. Anti-Monitor doesn't really do a lot from this particular event. It doesn't play a role at all. We have where we have stuff to explore with Hawkman. Now here's Dove. I love the way that the artist draws her. It like makes her like so hot. And here's Hawk busting through the wall like he's freaking the Kool-Aid Man. Yeah, and this kind of plants the seeds for a potential relationship between Dove and Deadman that will actually explore post-Flashpoint. And here you are. We had the very first appearance. That's him right there. That is Jackson Hyde for you. The second Aqualad. This book basically was his debut. And so in case you're curious though, no, he is not a creation of post-Flashpoint. He made his debut just prior to that. Yep. So, the whole thing with Firestorm is that because Rodney Raymond, who had been dead prior to this, he had accidentally killed Jason Rush's girlfriend. And the plot with that is that he basically forgets her name. So, then we have this right here. I love the fact that Jeff Johns, he's kind of good when it comes to continuity. Like, this is something he wrote in the pages of Blackest Night. So, of course he did that. Love this cover by David Finch. This cover is awesome. Mm-hmm. And we have basically this interesting scene where Hawkman and Hawkgirl are making up with this like black goo stuff related to when they were Black Lanterns. Now, in case you're curious, despite the fact he's on the cover, well, he's kind of in this book. Now, Jade herself is nowhere in this book. The Green Lanterns do not play a role in this main book at all. It's revealed by Mira that she was actually sent to kill Aquaman, not initially fall in love with him. So yeah, a lot of really cool stuff here, and it's a really good start to this awesome limited series. That's my opinion anyways. I give this book a 10 out of 10. It's that damn good. Alright, next up is a book that's not as good as that one. We have The Omega Men by Tom King. This is called The End Is Here. Yes, Tom King wrote this. With Braspi Bergdia, Toby Capres, Jose Marzine Jr., and E.G. Guerrero, who does the interior artwork on here. The cover art here, and who basically did the cover for this trade here, and the main cover series is done by Trevor Hudson. Now, here's a little fun fact for you about this book. You see, despite this initially being 12 issues, initially this book was canceled at issue 7 due to low sales. But then, like a month or two later, DC uncanceled this book to allow Tom King to finish telling his story. The story is a bit confusing at best. Basically, of Kyle Rayner in here. Yes, Kyle Rayner in the pages of Omega Men. And in case you're curious though, did Kyle Rayner ever appear in the original volume of Omega Men published in the 80s? No! For good reason. You wanna know why? Because he wasn't created yet, not for another decade. Mostly put, he's here just to end the war between the Omega Men and the Citadel. That's mainly his purpose. Now, they do mention here for the members of the Omega Men, the Tiger Man of the group, he pretty much had no basically, all the characters got massive redesigns. They explain that here. But the Tiger Man of the group, and his name is, let's see if I can find him here. His name is Tagore. Yeah, he does not receive a redesign. Nope. Everyone else does. I think in the case of... what is her name? Yeah, she actually in this book has a relationship with Kyle Rayner, a very sexual relationship. Let's see if we can find her here. Let's see. Okay, her name is Callista. Yes, the only change that the artist made to her was they replaced the cape with a coat, but kept the belt basically for her, which is quite nice. Yeah, I love the fact that the artist basically put his explanation of the fact that he didn't really change much of of these characters. Yes, it's pretty much the classic Mega Men. The only one who's not here, who actually was part of Mega Men, was Starfire's brother. Yeah, he was part of the original Mega Men. Now, the one thing that Starfire has in common with the Mega Men, same guy who created them both, Marv Wolfman. Yep, I love the fact they credit basically Marv Wolfman and Keith Giffen. Actually, it's Marv Wolfman and Joe Stanton who created the Mega Men. This is a very interesting book per se. Is it better than Heroes of Crisis? Yes. Yes, it is. Not as controversial as that one. Oh, no. It just is so baffling. The fact that DC decided to just, let's cancel the Omega Men. And then just like a month or two later, let's just change our mind. And just basically goes, oh, no, we're not going to cancel. We're going to uncancel it. Just so Tom King can finish up his damn run. Yeah, and by the way, when this book first started, I had no idea that Kyle Rayner was in this book until somebody pointed out because the artwork made it so confusing. Yeah, and I think that they must have removed some panels in here because the first portion of this book, if I remember when the issues came out, by the way, the cover for the trade is issue 11. Yeah, this cover here is issue 11. That's the cover for the trade. So it's a bit of a very strange sci-fi book. Now, in the case of all the Omega Men here, this technically wasn't the first introduction to the Omega Men post-Flashpoint. They were actually introduced in the pages of Deathstroke in a not that good of a storyline. Yes, I don't know if we all want to blame Rob Liefeld for that. Yeah, he introduced a version of Lobo in there, and the Omega Men basically there are a completely different group from the one in here. This is more of the classic Omega Men with more redesigns. But at least they kind of act like the way they do, though they're treating here more like massive terrorists. And it's more like a gritty reboot, this one. But this is okay at best. It's not one of Tom King's best works. At least it's not as bad as Hero Crisis. I'm going to give this book roughly I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Yes. Say what you will, Omega Men. At least it's a better book. At least you don't have people basically acting completely out of character or massive deaths per se. Yeah, it's just that basically you have Car. By the way, Kara Ferris was mentioned in the original issues, but for some reason the trade cut out those mentions. Yes, Kara Ferris is mentioned a few times in here. As for why in the world they decided to remove from the trade, I have honestly no idea why the heck they removed them. Yeah, it's one of the most baffling things relates to this trade, where they remove panels, not like full on pages like I've seen a couple times for DC. Like there was actually one page removed from the second trade of the collect issues from Batman by Scott Snyder. Yeah, it was a page where you had Alfred look out the window and you see a bunch of Talons storm on the mansion. They cut the page out, and they also did the same thing with Titans, where they cut out the page where you have Nightwing. We have basically got Dick Grayson's Nightwing costume for the first time in about 2 years, like 2 or 3 years. Yeah, I have no idea why the heck they took out the trade for, because that was in Titans Hunt, which basically laid the groundwork for the ongoing Titan series. Yeah, but this book just moves some panels mostly, but it's not as bad as that one. Yep. And can you believe the original card price for this trade was $24.99 for a 12-issue run? Yes. This is one of a few 12-issue books basically Tom King has done for DC. He's done several of these. You have this, Miracle Man, which that basically is humongously popular. There is also The Vision, Strange Adventures, and Rorschach is one of those other ones. I do enjoy reviewing his limited series per se, but excuse me, of the stuff I reviewed so far, Vision is really good. This book is decent for what it is. It's more of his more weaker books he's done. Yeah, it's almost like say that Tom King is go with his limited series books than he is with his ongoing series, despite the fact he was only done about 2 that I can think of. The only ones I can think of that actually were ongoing more than 12 issues was just Grayson and Batman. And that's it. And that's for DC. The only ongoing series worked at Marvel was The Vision. Yep. But yeah, not much else to say with 2 trades. Brightest Day Volume 1, awesome. Omega Man, okay. Yep. Now, tomorrow, I probably won't be having a video upload probably until later on tomorrow night, because I'm going to be flying out. But don't worry, you'll see a video for that, okay? Next video. Bye.